As our pilgrim's journey to Canterbury, we have reached the merchant's tale. Now, the merchant, of course, is a reasonably educated man, and so he makes references to to the Roman gods. And he also takes a little bit of a swipe at both the knight and the wife of Bath. The merchant tells a story about a knight. Now, the knight, whose name is January, has reached the age of 60 and has decided that the time has come for him to find a young wife to look after him and to provide him with an heir. So his friends go out and they find for him a young maid, age less than 20, whose name is May, like merry and fertile month of May. At their wedding feast, Venus interferes a little, and she causes for a young squire by the name of Damien to fall in love with our beautiful bride May. Now, January, being an older man married to a young woman, is a little concerned, so he builds a beautiful walled garden for his wife. And so she lives within the walls of the garden. Now, Pluto, the god of the underworld, and his wife, Proserpina, can see all this. And Pluto decides to strike January blind. And so he loses his sight completely. And of course, one of the things that he cannot see is the love that has been growing between May and Damien, the young squire. And May has very cleverly found some wax and made an impression of the key to the gate within the walls. And so Damien, her young squire, lets himself in through the locked gate and climbs up a pear tree, and there he hides, waiting for a lover's tryst. After all, like the story of Pyramus and Thisbe, a wall cannot deter lovers. So here we have January, his wife May, in the garden about to do what a husband and wife would do. But there in the tree is young Damien the squire. And May says to her husband, a woman in my condition gets terrible cravings. And I would love to have one of those lovely juicy, ripe pears from the top of the pear tree. Now, husband, I do know that you cannot climb up the tree, but if you will let me just climb up your back, I can climb the tree and I can fetch for myself one of those lovely, juicy, ripe pears. So May climbs up her husband's back, climbs up the tree, and there, waiting for her, is her young lover. And they do what young lovers do. But Pluto, seeing this, restores January's sight. Proserpina, Pluto's wife, goddess of the underworld, gives May a gift. She gives her the gift that she can talk herself out of this situation. So although Pluto has seen the two lovers together, when May jumps down from the tree, she says, no, my husband, what you saw with your newly restored eyesight was me wrestling with a man. And it was the power and the magic of our wrestling that restored your eyesight to you. So be happy and be grateful that I gave you the gift of returning your vision. And so there we will leave our husband and wife together in the beautiful garden, sitting at the foot of the pear tree. And I think that they lived long and really quite happy lives. But as to what became of Damien the squire, the story, alas, does not tell. Pear trees are taken as a symbol of longevity because they are apparently very long-lived trees. They can live something like 250 years. And of course, they do give the most delicious fruit. So I hope that in your long and joyful life, you too get to enjoy lots of lovely, delicious fruit. Please do subscribe to my channel, and please do check out some of the other Canterbury tales and some of the Grimm's folk tales. And see you again soon.